Hey guys, I'm Samuel Ogo and welcome to my channel. So I'll be putting you guys up on every code time I have. I'll be sharing my screen to see how my progress is. But mainly this one is because I'm working on a platform and it's called Bitris. And Bitris is a business management system. Now, while I code Bitris, I'll be logging in all my code sessions, building the platform. And why am I doing that? Because I recently invested in a business and an issue for us was managing the business. So there are tools out there, but it wasn't as good as what I wanted. And for my locality, Nigeria, it's difficult to have a smooth sailing with those tools. So I decided to build mine. So Beatrice is the name. I'll be sharing my screen so you'll see everything going on in my code time. But about me, so I've been coding for going to 17, 18 years. And of recent, I decided to retire from active coding because it was strenuous on me. It was really telling on my body. So I decided to reduce my active coding and went fully into tech consultation. So that is what I do every day. I consult for brands and organizations. So let's go into it. Let me share my screen. Okay, welcome. So this is Bitris. I started already. So I got this template and I got this template online. I think that is in teams.getbootstrap.com. Yeah, one of those their dashboard templates. Oh, they have a new one. Nice. Okay, let's see. So my workflow is going to be a quick get it shipped as fast as possible. So to help me do that, I'm working with templates. To help me do that, I'm working with frameworks, and I just want to get things done. So my target is to build this in a month. So today's date is 26th of September. So my target before the end of October, Bitris should be up and the business should be using Bitris. Not all futures fully active, but with Bitris, they should be able to record sales. They should be able to record customers. They should be able to record, coupons and the rest. They should be able to, check up expenses and, do basic stuff concerning the business. So in essence, I should be able to go on Bitris, login, and I have an eagle eye view of everything, going on in the business. By the way, the business is Stacks Food, and you can follow us on Instagram. We are a burger shop, dishing delicious burger in the city of Uyo, Akwa Ibom, Nigeria. Okay, so let's talk about the build. So what am I using for the build? So far, I just have a logo, and that is the brand. I just have a little brand, with the logo Bitris. I downloaded the template, and for the front end, I'll be using Angular because that is my strength. So I'm trying to stay in a position where it's a little slightly above my comfort zone and comfortable also. Comfortable with the tools, I can get it done quickly and slightly above my comfort zone so that it will be interesting. So I'll be adding features, to make it, interesting as the day goes. And for the back end, so front Angular, I've been using Angular for a long time, maybe going to five 5 years. Yeah, I can say, yeah, maybe 5 years or thereabout. So I'm comfortable using Angular. I'm not an expert completely, but at least I can get things done with Angular framework. Then for the back end, I'm using AdonisJs. So I've worked with Adonis before, but it wasn't this new Adonis, which is I think Adonis 5.6 or thereabout. So this is more advanced. So I could do everything with what was in the Express.js and the likes, but I think I'll be more comfortable using AdonisJs, and it will the learning curve for me is just slightly up, so it will make it interesting for me working with it. And besides, they have everything I need right out of the box, so I won't be stressing and I can get things done quickly. So yeah, so yeah, this is the particular template I'm using. So I'm not uh, uh, redesigning anything. So I got the template and I'm just using components from the template. Then speaking of component, I'm also using prime ng. So I looked around for a good Angular component, that can, get things done, like, the toast. You get all those easy stuff. The template I'm currently working with, that is this. They don't have all those stuff, so I have to do everything from scratch. But with Prime NG, I don't have to bother with all those activities. So that is it. Then for case study, looking at Quicksell. Now, Quicksell is a startup in Nigeria, but they recently closed. But they have some of their, endpoints, there. So I'm just building with this transaction items, orders. I'm literally copying these guys, you get. So my logic will be different. And if I can replicate this entirely, then I can say I'm successful. So the problem with Quicksell is they recently closed, although let me see, because they made an announcement. Oh, or is it Quick Sale? Just search. And this guy is owned by Softcom, and I think they're in Lagos, Nigeria. So they have so many tools. From the look of it, they are focused on commerce and the way they give out the news. They have different products. Ayowo, so Ayowo is like their major platform, which is like a mobile wallet. You could do so many things with it. So from the look of it, they are trying to push Quicksale to Ayowo, but they made an announcement about Quicksale, and I was moved by it. If not, I'd started creating stacks food using quick sell, but the announcement shook me off, so I won't be using them. Instead of building by copying from theirs. Then under reference is Square Up. Again, so Square Up is a big brand, but integration in my country, Nigeria, is not all that smooth. So instead, I will be doing ours. So I'll be taking some components from there, some concept ideas from them, and I'll also be taking from Quicksell. So they are similar stuffs, but the advantage with Square Up is they have this cool integration with, a POS system. So they also have a fully integrated system. I knew when they started that with the ear jack, POS swiper, but they advanced and they went bigger. So over time, we're going to have a POS integration too, and we can have our own device where they just order. We get all crazy. I plan to take this as far as possible, tackling commerce, and over time, add an element of logistics to it, where everything is fully integrated and monitored. Okay, so this is square up, so you can see the same tab, reports, transaction, items, customers, just the same stuff they have here too. Okay, so let's get on with it. Like I said, I've started and I started working on the login. You get the sign up is up, you get and account details required. So let me drop this bottom right. Okay, so I have that logic started with. So my front end, and I'll be doing okay, I won't give details on the domain name for now. But hopefully I have the domain name. So I've gotten the domain name, and I'll be doing dashboard.bitris. So that will be like the back end for the staff, the management team, back end dashboard.bitris. So this is Angular. I'm using Angular 16. I think that's the latest Angular. So I can always upgrade if it's not. But I'm okay with this for now. Then for the back end, let's see. So I'm using Adonis. So I already have Alt set up. I have Lucid. I have Mail. I think mailing is working. I have Redis. I'm going to be integrating Redis later on. And yeah, that is that for now. What other stuff? I also have Kinix. Oh, no, I think it comes with Kinix out of the box, but I'm using Kinix for ORM. Yeah, what else do I have? Yeah, I thought of using Postgres database instead of MySQL database. Then again, I'm using Prisma. So here's the Prisma schema. I'm using Prisma to integrate with my database so that I can easily, do the whole database sync. Yeah, so I'm using Postgres. So later on, I'm going to be using a cloud provider for the database. So all my data always going to stay persistent, no matter what happens to my front or my server. So I'm using Postgres, yeah. So I'm using Postgres. So I've done a little bit of structure in terms of the database. And I have the users. The users will have first name, last name, email, phone, password, verification, token, and the user will have businesses. The user will have teams. So we have businesses. So this is like the merchant type, all those information concerning the business. So first, you register as a user. So the point we have here, this is you creating an account as a user, your email, your first name, last name. Then after creating an account as a user, you'll be prompted to create a business. So we have different categories for the business or industries we'll be focused on. So if you come here, so we have the table for industries. And I also have the database CEDA. So here is the CEDA for industries. So these are a couple of the industries we'll be working with. Okay, let me wrap. So we have those industries. So when you're creating your business, you have to select your industry. Another CEDA is the country. So for now, we will stick with these countries. And why we are working with those countries because of the chosen payment provider, which is Flutterwave. So Flutterwave, so we'll be integrating Flutterwave to handle payment. And Flutterwave currently support a couple of countries. So that is what we are focused on these countries, and Nigeria, which is my current country and resident. So that is for countries. Then we have banks. So using a Paystack on that payment provider, we just synced their banks. So that is for banks. Okay, so let's move on. So far, what have I done? So we have the Cedar running. I have a couple of services. Now this is Adonis, and I have a couple of controller. Then let's go into our route. So we have a couple of routes. Now these are things I've done already. We have team, we have store, we have order, we have item, customer, business, and auth. For auth, we have register, login, forgot password. I think forgot password is working. So I hope I don't have anything crazy on my email, but let's look at forgot password. So go to sign in and say I forgot my password and I put my email and submit. Is that working? Oh, that isn't working. I think the logic for that is working, but we haven't integrated it in the front. So good thing you've not been left behind. Now there's a lot to work on. So you can see the logic is good. So we'll be building one step at a time. So one approach some dev use is, building the entire API while, after that, they switch to the front end. But I'm just working on everything myself. So I'll be building both front end and the back end together. I don't have anyone working with me, so for now, and I'm cool with it. And it's a way for me to share my knowledge, my little knowledge on how I build and ship products. So for now, again, we are not looking at all crazy setups and all those complications, but over time, we are going to, work on security, work on load time, make things solid, like a real startup. For now, it's just going to be my investor company that will be working with it, testing it, going back and forth till it's solid for the entire world to use or for the world to use at large. So later on, I plan to expand using Kubernetes, making it a Dockerized container, working with different, all those tech complications. But for now, let it work. Placing order, receive order, keep account of inventory, let it work. Okay, this is a big project, but let's get started. So where are we starting from? So first thing, let me look at the database. So I'm using, what am I using to check the database? Was it Postgres this? Oh yeah, I think so. Oh, sorry. No, I'm not using this. I wasn't using this. This. Yeah, I think I was using Posticle. Yeah, so connect. So we have this. Let's rearrange. So I like working with my code environment just the right side of my browser, so I can switch this way. Then my database is here. I won't be using Postman for documentation for now. Later on, I will do that, but ideally, you have to use Postman. So for now, we have the database, so users. So I think if we have users here, that means the registration is working. So I'm going to test that. So let's go back and going to sign up, and I say Samuel Ogu email. I'll use my personal email, hello@samuelogu.com. Password, Yeah, so this is prime ng. You can see that's this cool stuff. This is also prime ng. So I didn't have to code this out of the box. So let's see, I'll just do a quick password. Use Ubuntu. Ubuntu system as a suite. Accept. I said accept our terms and conditions. Oh, that statement is correct. I don't know. Okay, so create account, invalid login details. So these guys are working. I think I use Postman to set up that. I think I can work with Postman alongside. Yeah, let's work with Postman. So I don't have to recreate or go back and do all sorts of documentation. Yeah, so let's have Postman. So I will do this. Postman will be right next to my editor. And for the editor, I'm using IntelliJ. So I'm using that for years. And it's good for me. So let's sign in. Ah, bah, 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 bah. Oh, yeah, for my browser, I no longer use Chrome. I was a big Chrome's fanboy till I use Arc. So I'm currently using Arc for my browser. And it's cool. I love Arc. Can I recall? I think I signed in Google. I think so. But let's see. Hmm. Let's see. Yeah, I love Arc browser. Yeah, I love, and for the large screen, it works very well for me. So is this my workspace? I think so. So yeah, so I have my browser, I have the editor, I have Postman, then my database. Yeah, so we have this. Then let's send. Yeah, account successfully created. So once, okay, so we refresh here, we have this created. Awesome. So that is working, but in the front end, it isn't working. So we have to fix that. Let's see the logic for the account creation if we have everything set and also sending a mail. So first, when you enter into, okay, let's start from the route. So we have alt, we have register, it goes to alt, controller, register. Now from here, it goes through a validation. So I created a schema validation. So every validation is here. So this is for alt. So you say register this here and I go to register. So for register, it requires, the first name, which is a string, last name, email. Now I gave it some rule. It needs to be an email and it needs to be unique, checking the users table and the email column. So this is all Adonis right out of the box. Then password, it needs to be at least a minimum of 4 lengths. And most of these stuffs are there in their documentation. So let me show you. So if you enter their documentation, if you enter, I think validation, yes. So you can see this is just a basic validation. So what I did was to create a validation file, and it's not difficult. I think everything is there how to create it. Yeah, let me see. Oh, it's not sure. Let's see. See, importing. I think there was a CLI, yeah, I think, yeah, CLI 2 to, Oh, no, this is not it. Oh, I can't recall, but I think there's a CLI command to create a validation schema. I didn't just, create it. So, yeah, let me check this. So I think for Adonis is check is let's look at another stuff. Okay, yeah, Node. So Node is yeah, make I think validation. Yeah, then the name, the title of the validation. So that automatically creates a validation for you, and it's good. They have a very good CLI tool, which I love Adonis for. Okay, so it goes through the validation. After that, it picks up the request body, everything in the request body. Then email password from the body. Then it also checks if email exists. Now, if email exists, it tells you, no, it doesn't. Even though we've validated the email, I just want to do another check. Then, if that's okay, it tries to, create an account for you. So in creating an account service, it goes to the user service register. But before it does that, it creates a verification token using a user ID creator. And this is still from Adonis. So I think they're helpers, and let's look for that. Yeah, CUID. So with this, we just do this and it automatically creates a gibberish for us. So that is for the verification token. Then after registering, okay, it goes here and tries to register. So with this, it just asks the password. This is still from Adonis. It asks the password and it inserts everything into the user table. Now you can see with this, I'm using Adonis database, but behind the hood, Lucid use Kinix. So behind the hood, and I love Kinix, it's fast and it's okay for now. So I can work with that. So that is for register. Then after registering, it sends you a verification mail. Now I use Adonis to create these mails. You can see, so this is the verification mail. So mailer, I'm using Mailgun for all the configuration, and to create the mail, so this is the verify email. So there's also a command to use to create a mailer script. Then I also create a view. So let's go to views. I think today will just be an introduction, look at where we currently are with the whole stuff. Then probably later, maybe tomorrow, I go in depth with the coding. Okay, so let's look for views. Where are your views? So we have this. Can I enter into it? Let's see. No, I can't enter into it. So let's go down. Let's patient. I think views should be resources. It's open. Resources, views, emails. So we have the welcome. You can see emails/welcome. So we are defining the template we are going to be using, and we are passing the data, which is the URL for verification. So it's using Edge. I don't think I have any template Edge plugin. But by the way, welcome to Bitris. You are receiving this mail message because you recently signed up for a Bitris account. URL, click here. So this is the URL passive. So that is just simple welcome message. Okay. So this is working. I think so. That particular email is synced to my Gmail. So let's see if that came in. I hope I don't have any sensitive stuff apart from maybe Binance or OP. Okay, so that didn't come in. So, or could it be it's in the spam? No, it's not. So we'll have to check that. We'll have to check that. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so let's go back to auto controller register. So it sends a mail. Now this dot later command, it just queues it up. So Adonis does that behind the hood and sends a mail to the email address. So passing the data here. Why do we need to pass the full data? Data.email. Oh, we could just pass the, okay, we also need verification token. I think I was just lazy, so I just passed in the entire email. Yeah, I think that is it. Oh, let's just put some little type, which email is string and verification token is also string. So do you guys use TypeScript? If it's good, if it's not, drop a comment. So yeah, both Angular and the current Adonis uses TypeScript. So I'm quite okay with TypeScript, so I can work with it. You know, just put n, just put n. Okay, so auth token. Then after registering, so what I do is it should take you straight logged in, trying to create a business for you. So with this, I create auth token and I'm using an API authentication, and I'm attempting to, to log in, to authenticate using the email and password. Then authentication, what I'm doing is keeping it for 7 days, and the name is Bitris, the identity of the authentication. So with this, I also use the login details. So this is, I'm just, what am I doing there? Login details. So I say get the user. Okay, I'm fetching the user details. So this is the user details. Yeah, so this is my wife. Hey, babe. I'll be back. I'll be with you shortly. Yeah, tilapia fish would be awesome. And we can do fries. Can you wait for me? I think I should be done. Okay, cool. I think that is a good option. Awesome. Love you. Yeah, good. Recording. Oh, say hi to her. Love you. Bye. So after getting, sorry for the not an interruption, girl, that's my wife. So after getting the login details, which is the user information, everything about the user, I think I'm not even getting everything. So I'm just getting the user ID and the email. That is all I'm getting. Oh, there's a way I can just get it easily, but later I can work on that. Okay. Then I throw a 201, which is created, status error, and I say account successfully created, and I pass in the login details, I pass in the token. Now this is the token that will be stored in the client side. Then I I pass in, what is this? I think type of authentication. right? Or what? Where am I getting that from? Oh, okay, yeah, from this auth token. So I'm just taking the time and I'm getting the token. So I'm passing that, and that is all for account creation. So the next thing I've done is log in. So with this, when I click, it says account successfully logged in, and it just gives me user ID, email, the token. Now this token is for the front end, and it's a bearer token. So this token is what I'll be using in the front. And so if I go to this particular API and I go to, is it here? I think the collection edit. Yeah, I think in the collection. So if I go to authorization, the token, that is what I'm going to be updating in here. So I'm going to be using a bearer token. So our variable, but with this, I'm using an environment variable. So that is this. Let me remove this. Yeah, so I'm using an environment variable, and this is the token. So initial value, I'm going to be updating. So I think what I did was, if there's a token, I think it gets the token and it uses it. And if there's none, it just creates a new token. But let me look at the logic. So let's go to login logic. So auth login. So we could come from the route, but I'm just going to skip that, right? Okay, so we validated, making sure we have the email, it's an email, and we have the password. Then we got the email and password. Then we find the user if there isn't invalid login details. Now notice we didn't do invalid account password. We just did invalid login details. So we don't want to specify where exactly went from, whether it's the email or the password is good for security. Then I ask the password. I have a service to check the password using AdonisJs. So I check if it's good. If it's not good, I still tell you invalid login details. So I don't tell you if the email or the password is wrong, because an attacker could put in email address and they could confirm, oh yes, that email address exists in the system. Okay, so the next step is to look for the password. But as a user, if you don't know which email I use, so you can't really guess that. So the same logic, ideally I'm to create a service for this, because I'm already writing this logic twice. So one of my principles is, when I write logic twice, I should create a service for it. So I think I'll just quickly do that. Is there any command for service? Uh, let me see, make, oh, I just wrote that. Oh, there is it. Okay, so let's just copy and paste. Okay, there's a minimum, yeah, there's a minimum service. So I'll just, or let me add it to the user service, yeah. So I'll just do this, static, static. At least we still get to code today. Yeah, static. So this, what are we doing exactly? So auth token generator, so generate auth token. Hope I don't have that. I don't have. So this would take in email and password. let's just grab this out. So we don't have, let's see, auth. Oh, shit, we don't have this auth. But I think there's a way to abstract all that. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, HTTP context. Okay, so we have this. Yeah, so we have this guy, you can see. So we can use this and reference on the HTTP context. So let's do that. So let's add this. Then, what is it saying? Okay, TypeScript. Then let's do this. So for this, we say, how do they do that? Okay, so also like this. But in our case, we are going to use auth. So I think auth is part of the context. Let's see. Yeah, auth. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so we have this, then let's proceed. So we want to, anytime we call this, we want to just return this guys. So we want to return, yeah, we'll return this. Okay, this is good. So email password, yeah, email password, let's give them type, yeah. So we are good with all this, so we can wipe this out. Then what we'll do is say data is equals to, and I think that is user service. Oh, what is it? Yeah, wait, sorry. Wait, user service, and then I'm gonna dot generate hot token, passing the email and passing the password. Then for data, just say data. Oh, this is the issue. It's capital S. Yeah. So why is there an error? Oh, or could we just pass in the alt instead? Yeah, I think that's what we do. So passing alt. Even though, yeah. So we check this out. We have an error. Okay, type error. Oh, I think I'm getting stressed already. Okay, so let's try this. Log in and yeah, so it's good, good. So this works, so this is working. So I'm also using Git version control. Okay, let's do for the registration. So just copy this. go up. And so one of my coding principle is try not to repeat code. So here we have data which we are using. So we can just change this to login details. Just update this. Yeah. So principle one for me, try not to repeat your code. If you have it in more than one places, then just create a service that you can always call. Okay, so let's see. Writing messages in commit crazy. But I'll just say I'll use the user service what I wrote. So I'll just say generate auth token. So I'm done for today. So I'm just gonna push. Anytime I'm done in a day, that's what my principal I just push for that day. So I can do different commits. But once I'm leaving my system, I just push. In that way, I'm not going to be attached to my either laptop or my iMac. So at any time, I can continue elsewhere. So I push. Yep. All right. So that's all for today. So tomorrow we'll continue and we'll get some things done. I think we'll do more codes tomorrow. Today we're just looking at what we have to build and just what's a little bit of code. All right, guys.